Hey Leo, this is your reading for the month of May 2021. The way I like to do this is I start with the vision I had during my meditation time for you, and I let you know that, and then I go into the tarot and then oracle cards from there as guided. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. And as far as the vision I had for you, it was like, I think for the most part, you were swimming underwater. And you were swimming and like the water was like all different colors. Like rainbow colors, like colors of the rainbow. But they didn't really like blend or anything. Like it didn't create like, a dull color, like a muddy color or anything like that. They like were all separated, almost like it was all energy. And it was just the idea that like when you were like, I think it's the breaststroke is like this. I can't remember which is which, or well, it's not this, it's this. But anyways, when you like put your hand through the water, like the colors would just like go and stream through your fingers, and it was so cool. As far as like before getting into the reading and stuff, like just in general, what I would get from that is it seems like, because water is intuitive, subconscious, emotional space, and it seems like a lot of you guys, it may be basically saying that you're kind of submerging yourselves in it, and you've been doing the digging and the healing. I'm gonna go ahead and close my door. You've been doing the digging and the healing and stuff like that, and like you've been really encountering different parts of yourself, and that's what I feel like is represented by all the colors, is like you've been working on different chakras, and you've been balancing your chakras and balancing the energies in your life, and just in yourself though, in your subconscious, not just like the obvious stuff, but literally like going in, diving in. So yeah, that's so far what I get from that. So let's go ahead and get into the tarot. I'm going to use the good tarot. Let me double check this. Okay. Make sure it's okay. So yeah, Spirit, God, Universe, what message do you have for Leo for the month of May? Especially in regards to the vision so far. What message does Leo need to hear for the month of May in regards to the vision so far? Doing that. That's good. Okay, so let's do 3 cards. Page of Water. So, yeah, Page of Cups. 8 of Air, so 8 of Swords. And 4 of Earth, so 4 of Pentacles. I'll show you guys these cards too. And I generally, I read intuitively a lot. I go as far as, like, I follow my intuition as far as, like, a deck like this. Because this deck doesn't really go into the negatives of a lot of things. So, like, I kind of go with, like, what I see. Because 8 of Swords is generally not the most positive of a card. But there are positive aspects, and this deck kind of goes into the positive. So we'll see what it is for your reading. In general, it seems like you're in a good place, but we'll see as far as like the vision I'm saying. So Yeah, I mean, cups, swords, pentacles. So, I mean, that could be relationships, relational, thoughts, mental, verbal, and then financial, material. So it can be anything really. What's weird is this is a page. There's something weird about this. So the page of the page of cups is it's potential, a messenger. It doesn't have to be a messenger, but potential also, or messenger, that is basically going to cause a emotional or psychic reaction, or not connection, but not disturbance, but basically, reaction in you. It's going to bring that. Sometimes it is a messenger, an actual messenger. Sometimes it's the potential for it. However, this is a really weird card because it's like a kid. So, it's like the fish but I just keep seeing, like, when I look at this, I just keep seeing like fish out of water. And she doesn't seem very, like, they don't seem very comfortable. And like, they're just kind of like almost looks like a curtsy situation. I know it's not a curtsy, but it's like proprietary or appropriateness. I don't know. Proprietary. Yeah, whatever. I'm tired right now. And it just feels very like going through the motions. So I don't know. I don't know what I feel about this because this is kind of different than typical energy that I'm getting for you guys from this card. Like, this card, I wouldn't normally read this way. It's interesting too, like the sea foam right here, and to think of like, and some of you, it may be a situation where you're literally just dipping in, like you're dipping into that concept, that potential of an emotional reaction. But in the vision, like you're full blown, like swimming through, and you see the colors through. I'm just going to keep going. And then 8 of Swords normally is like, being stuck in your own thoughts and your own fears. But in this deck, the way they do it is it's stuck in your own fears. So that's what it might be. In this deck, the way they do it, it's a potential. It's like, you're stuck in your own fears, but you're not actually harmed by anything. Like, literally, it's almost like a cage created by the swords, but you can literally just like open your eyes and notice like there's no actual cage, like in the actual deck, in the Rider-Waite-Smith version. So this is literally like, the concept is like looking above, looking outside yourself, looking, to higher power, to, your destiny, your path, and follow and notice that, oh, okay, you're not meant to be stuck like this. This isn't your actual reality. Like, this isn't for you. And therefore you're able to rise above that moment. I really feel like this is like a very like, and sometimes it can symbolize like child, like sometimes this can be like an inner child situation. So it's like you might be doing this healing of like rising above the fears and rising above these situations. But your inner child might be like, oh my God, I'm so terrified of the water. I can't swim. What are you thinking? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And so then like every time you go and you dive and you're like, I can do this. I'm good. Then your inner child's like, oh my God, I can't swim. And so like, it's this whole like, it creates that upheaval of emotion, of intensity in you, of like, yeah, like an emotional, I want to say disturbance. And it's not because it's actually disturbing. It's not because it's actually bad for you. It's just, I feel like for some of you, this is an inner child situation and it's hitting at your wounds. It's hitting at your issues. And it's like, it's win the mentality. And so for some of you, this is like a mental situation. So when you're doing this, this mental dance of, okay, cool. I'm actually not captured in this and I have this freedom, and going into that light place, this one that knows all relationships. And some of you, that's the thing, because okay, so this is the mentality and this is relationships. There is a group of you that knows your relational history, whether that's actual relationships like romantic relationships or upbringing, relationships, your connections with human beings, like how they've worked in the past. And that's the part of you that gets scared. That's the part of you that's like tiptoeing, like, are you serious? Like, really, you're making me be here? Like, because that's the thing. It's like a fish. She has like a total fish, you know, fish tail and everything. But then the top of her is all human. So it's like you can't expect her to go in the water like she's full fish. Because her human side is like, but I'm a human. I don't know how to swim yet. And she might not have been taught how to swim. Like some of you guys your inner child didn't get taught how to do all these things. And so then this side of you is like, yeah, I could do it. And then this was like, oh my gosh. And it's not saying that you can't do it. You can do it. But that's why you keep feeling this resistance. That's why, yes. Okay, so Four of Pentacles is like holding on to the, not past. I want to say past for some of you guys. Okay, past. But for some of you guys, but it's holding on to a moment in time. It's generally about, you know, wealth, finances, things like that, but it's holding on. It's this mentality, this energy where you're blocking blessings because you're so sure the best that you've got or the best that you have, it's not going to get better. So you're so sure, you're just like, okay, let me just keep this. Let me keep this. It's like a hoarding mentality. So that's the thing. Like you go to this and then you go from here and like you don't feel safe. So then here it's like, okay, let me just hold on to the every like little ounce of familiarity I can. Like let me hold on to where I think things are the best. That's why it's like she's got these pentacles and stuff, or not it's like the Triskele, but she's got all this stuff and everything, but there's no light. Like it's almost like she's just like stuck in that moment. She's in that moment in time, and that moment could have been an amazing moment, but just kind of like stuck because that's all she thinks that's ever going to come, you know. So she limited herself from growing. It's almost like look at the trees, the tree branches, like it's kind of like almost doesn't look the most, yeah, it's almost looks like it's dying kind of. And so she's kind of like limited herself. And it's because she's needing to work, like you know, some of you guys are really needing to work on your inner child situation. Your inner child, you're dealing with relationships, you're dealing with people, your connections with people, because you have a lot of past wounds. Some of you guys have a lot of past wounds in your inner child stuff. And that's why it's like when you go in the water, like you're thinking, okay, like going back to the vision, you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna go in the water, and then you're just, okay, swim, and maybe some blues will come out, maybe some greens, okay, it'll show me different chakras I need to work on. But literally, like you go in and it's like all these different colors all going through your fingers, and you're like, and it's almost overwhelming because you don't know like what to work with first kind of thing. And then it's like you're so gung-ho wanting to do this, and then like but that's the thing. It keeps reminding you how much there is to work with. It keeps reminding you that you're not a fish fully and you're not a human fully. So it's like you're still growing and still kind of trying to teach those parts of yourself how to function and how to be loved, how to receive love. But this is huge. Like I feel like there's more in this. Hold on. Yeah, it's like what you do in the air, you're like, okay, well, I can do this and I can have this mentality. I'm good. And it's not saying this is you, but in general, like rising above, say, I'm good. And then you come here with it. And I'm not saying this is the same person, but I feel like energetically it's the same. And you go on to the earth and you're like, oh, okay, well, this looks amazing. Okay, I'm going to keep this. And then something else tries to come in your way, come into your path, and you're like, no, I'm still comfortable with this. And it's because you're afraid to accept. Some of you guys are afraid to accept that there's better for you there, but there's more freedom, that you don't have to be just child or just fish, that you can literally like heal and teach that child to swim, and maybe teach the fish the land is good too. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's an element of, I hope I'm explaining that clearly with the Four of Pentacles. Because really a lot of you guys, that's what you've been stuck on, is this place that, and there was another sign, I can't remember which one right now, that also got the Four of Pentacles. And I'm trying to look. And it was that same mentality of, hold on, I'm gonna look. I can't remember. It could be, there's like a few different ones it could be. But yeah, it's basically, it's like, it's an energy where it's like, okay, you know, you can save and you can hold on to what's come. But if you hold on to what's come your way, in the heart of, in the fear mentality, in that energy of, what if something better never comes? Or what if I can't work with something else the same way? Like, what if it's never going to be this good again? Then you start energetically blocking healing and blocking blessings and blocking growth. That's why the tree branches like are kind of just like almost shrivelly, and like the leaf is like kind of dead. And it's like, she thought that she's in this amazing place. Like, look how happy she was. But it's like she's dying there because she's gone stagnant, because she didn't grow, because she didn't accept the new things that were coming her way, the new things that would teach her to grow, that would grow her, that would show her that she's worth more. You know, so it's like, you might have like an amazing day, but you're amazing today. Tomorrow, 2 months right now, might be like a crappy day because there's so much more to come that's even better, if that makes sense. Let's see what's on the bottom of this. I feel like there's like more though. Hold on. And then that's the sea foam, so it's like it's spraying on her, and I feel like it kind of scares her sometimes too, more. Like, it's like, oh, like it just keeps reminding her of what's under there. And it's not that there's anything bad under there, it's just she doesn't know. She's just a child. Like, this is a lot of inner child healing. Like, you really kind of have to delve in and see, like, as far as your relational patterns, like, it seems like you're in the heart and the mentality to be willing to dive in and to know better, that you're not stuck, and to understand that. But now there's other areas that need to heal, and those areas are, you know, having to do more with how you've operated relationally, or how things have operated with you relationally as a child. Some of you guys, I mean, this is a small pattern, or not pattern, a small group of you maybe, but it might be like literally like overseas, or during trips, or things that might have happened to you during trips that might have been traumatic, or might have kind of stunted your growth, something like that. The other thing, it's funny, she has the wings there, and then there's like all these wings coming down. So it's like, even if she's up there, like when she sees the wings come down, like I kind of feel like she might sometimes wonder, like, what if her wings fall off when she's up there? So some of you guys might deal with that fear of like, okay, well, you're going to rise up above, but what if when you get above, it's too hard to deal with, or it's too scary, or you lose the stuff you learned? Like, what if you fall backwards and you start forgetting like all this motivational stuff you've taught yourself? So some of you guys deal with that too. Like, what if you backtrack and go backwards and fall into old patterns while you're in a position to acquire more and maybe get into more trouble in your mind? I'm not saying that's like the way to be, but some of you guys might be thinking that. And so it's like, you watch these fall off, and sometimes you've been forgetting that these are falling off because you don't need them anymore, that new, stronger ones are growing in. So the death that you see coming from you, the skin sloughing off, so to speak, or the, you know, the dead skin, the dead stuff, the old stuff, it's not showing you that you're dying. It's showing you that you're that much more alive because new stuff is coming up. Yeah, so that's something I think a lot of you guys may need to really remember, is when you see this hardships and these things and these evidence of things that didn't work out. Well, it's because they weren't supposed to work out, but they were just supposed to be a barometer. Barometer, is that the right word? A gauge, whatever, to let you know that, okay, that's not for you, and now you have new coming in to actually be for you. And some of you guys, that's also kept you in this fear mentality, because when you've seen those and you've taken that as a, oh no, like, look, this might be way too hard for me, then it's kind of like tempted you to go back to that, or tempted you to hold on to the moment because it just might get harder. You know, in your mind, you're kind of telling yourself. Yeah, because you're kind of sometimes afraid that that cloud might just not be okay. It might be ripped out from under you. And it's not that that's what you're afraid of. That's what you've kind of told yourself. And it's from like maybe possible abandonment issues, different issues as a child. But in general, like you feel sometimes that it might be ripped out from under you, or just over time that it might fade away. And then like what's going to hold you up if these, you know, have disintegrated? And that's not the case. You're losing these because you're getting so much greater ones. So as far as what all this is about, Spirit, God, Universe, Six of Air, so Six of Swords, exactly. Six of Swords is moving on. Six of Swords is moving from old mentalities, old paths that, I mean, maybe at some point might have been good or might have felt like it was a good thing, and moving forward and moving to a different path, a new path. But it's moving on. And it's again, it's a swords card. So it's your mentality moving on. It's not just, okay, let's physically move on and like mentally stay somewhere. No, it's like you're literally growing. Like you're growing so much. But sometimes that's why you've been kind of intimidated, is because how much you're growing. And it's so amazing. Excuse me, amazing. I'll show you here. Six of Swords. The Six of Air, but it's, yeah, the Six of Swords. And it's really funny how like boat is out here, the ship, but then like there's like the waves or whatever in the water, but they're like almost like they're steps. So it's like this. So you take this and you're like, okay, well, this is your fear and this is where you've been in your fear, but this is the reality. The reality is as the energy grows, as you grow, as your devices grow, and I don't mean your physical devices, but I mean like literally your mode of transportation in yourself, your mode, your energy, the way you're getting through, like, you know, you're swimming, you're in the vision, all that. As that grows and your energy grows and everything grows and you understand that there's more for you than what you've worked with in the past. So as you allow better to come in and you allow yourself to be better equipped, to get better equipped because you allow it in now and you accept that love and you accept that self-love as well for yourself, then suddenly this becomes like steps. But it's so for the boat, it acts like, okay, water that you can still go on, but it's like steps. So it's like, almost like the person can also walk on it, yet also the fish can swim on it, and then the boat can still go through it. So it's like it allows this opening for all versions and all placements of where you are in life for yourself to just move forward. And this is a new path. Look how dark that other path was. Like there's so much better for you. Oh, I'm really excited by this reading. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm really happy. I don't know, last month's reading was pretty awesome. It was cool or whatever, but there was like a lot you guys were dealing with and it was kind of all over the place. So I was really kind of, I don't want to say dreading, but it's nice to have a nice clear like reading that, you know, I can totally see like where things are going, where you've been. And even if you've been in hard places, like there's a clear understanding of how to get out of it and what you need to do in this place. And I'm really happy for you guys, Leo. Oh my gosh, come on. Jeez. There we go. Okay, and then let's pull Queen of the Moon Oracle. That's what I was feeling for you guys. So, Spirit Guide Universe, what message do you have for Leo for the month of May in regards to the vision and the messages so far? And thank you so far for everything you're giving. Thank you. What messages does Leo need for the month of May in regards to the vision and the messages so far? Okay. Yeah. Oh, you know what I realized? Oh, no, I did do it. Okay, good. I was like, I didn't pull the bottom card, but I did. That was the bottom. Okay. So, yes. Ah, look at that. Look at the boat. Again, yes, you're reaching for higher. You understand you don't just have this. You don't just have this. You're reaching for higher. You're still in the boat. But it's funny because the boat, look at that. This is wisdom. The boat is on clouds now. So it's like you thought before you could, you only had the water. And then here you are in the clouds. But then now you're taking now you're taking the boat to the clouds. And it's a smaller version, but still it's a boat and all your knowledge you've gained, all the wisdom. And you're literally like reaching out, reaching above. Like you understand the potential. You understand that you're not just limited to what you've been through. You understand you're not just limited to even the good days you've been through. That there's better for you even. Like, because, even being on the boat and all these books, like, it could be magical. It could be amazing. But she's not limited to that. Like, there's more for her. There's more for you. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I love this reading for you guys. So, yeah. Let me know what resonated, what didn't. Like, comment, subscribe. I love hearing from you guys. And if you aren't, and thank you if you already are subscribed. Oh, my gosh. Okay, hold on. Thank you if you already are subscribed. And if you're not, I suggest you do so that way you can get more content, not miss any new content I put out. And then, but yeah. And I'll go ahead and put the decks that I use in the description below. I'll also put a link for a free website where you can check out all your placements in your chart to see, because this is for Leos and it can be Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, any of those placements. So yeah, I'll put a link so you can check out to see, what other signs, videos maybe you should check out, or, what applies for you, what's prominent in your chart. Trying to see if I forgot anything. Yeah, so yeah, okay. But yeah, that was an awesome reading. I hope that resonated. That was super cool. Oh yeah, and my intention as always is that you see this reading when you need it, when you're going to receive it best, when you're ready to take any of the advice or any of that. Yeah, so, but yeah, I will see you next time.